What happened when the popular girl begged you to help her pass math? Veronica Hartwell had never spoken to me before the day she cornered me by my locker, mascara streaking down her perfectly contoured cheeks. Please, she whispered, grabbing my arm with manicured nails. I'll pay you, whatever you want. I knew who she was, obviously. Everyone did. Student body president, homecoming queen, dating the varsity quarterback. Her Instagram had 12,000 followers. Mine had 17. I need to pass calculus or I lose my scholarship to Stanford, she continued, her voice cracking. My parents think I'm some kind of genius, but I'm barely scraping by. The tutoring center is booked solid. I stared at her, confused why she'd chosen me. I wasn't known for being particularly good at math, just quiet and reliable. Why me? I asked. Because you got 98% on last week's test, she said. Mr. Davidson read the scores alphabetically. I heard yours. She offered me $200 a week. My family desperately needed the money. Dad had been laid off from the factory 3 months ago, and Mom was working double shifts at the diner just to cover rent. For 3 months, I met Veronica at the library every Tuesday and Thursday. She was surprisingly focused once we started working. No phone, no distractions, just raw desperation to understand derivatives and integrals. She'd arrive with color-coded notebooks and expensive mechanical pencils, but her hands would shake when she couldn't solve a problem. What surprised me wasn't that she struggled with math, it was everything else I discovered. My mom scheduled my SAT prep for this weekend, she'd say, exhausted dark circles under her concealer. Then debate practice, then a charity gala. I haven't slept more than 4 hours a night in months. She'd pop caffeine pills between practice problems, her perfect facade cracking with each wrong answer. Her perfect life was a carefully orchestrated performance. Every grade, every activity, every relationship was strategic. The pressure from her parents was suffocating. If I don't get into Stanford, my father will disown me, she confided one evening, her voice barely above a whisper. He went there. My brother went there. My grandfather went there. It's not negotiable. The final exam approached. Veronica needed at least a B+ to maintain her scholarship eligibility. We'd worked through hundreds of practice problems. She'd improved dramatically, but calculus wasn't coming naturally to her. The night before the test, she called me at 11 p.m., sobbing. I'm going to fail, she choked out. Everything I've worked for is gone. My whole future. You won't fail, I told her firmly. You know this stuff now. Trust yourself. The next morning, she slipped me a folded note before the exam. Thank you for believing in me when no one else did. 2 weeks later, Mr. Davidson handed back our tests. Veronica got an 87%. She'd passed. She hugged me right there in the hallway, tears streaming down her face. For the first time since I'd known her, they seemed like tears of relief rather than desperation. I got into Stanford, she texted me exactly 1 month later. Early admission. I couldn't have done it without you. 5 years later, she became a pediatric surgeon. She still sends me Christmas cards every year, always signed the same way. To the person who saved my future, V. I became a high school teacher. Sometimes I think about how everyone assumed Veronica had everything figured out, when really she was drowning in expectations. Now, when I see struggling students, especially the ones who look most put together, I remember that the brightest smiles often hide the deepest fears. The $2,400 she paid me helped my family keep our house, but what I learned from her was worth far more than money.